Hello, this is Diane from DiannAbroad. I'm talking to you from Fernandina Beach, Florida, from Amelia Island, Florida. It's December 1st, 2018. I'm so happy to talk to you again. It's been a while. I've been on hiatus from my international travels. I came to the United States here around June. My plan was to be here for 3 weeks, and I will have been here for 6 months. House sitting. How blessed is that? House sitting. I'm leaving January 7th for Chiang Mai, Thailand via Beijing. I'm so excited about that. I've had itchy feet, really eager to travel, although I'm having a wonderful time visiting family and friends, old friends and new friends, and doing some writing and all kinds of things. Well, today I want to talk to you about hotel checkout. How do you check out? Do you plan ahead for checking out, or do you just wing it? Now, for the most of us, including me, checking out of a hotel can be an afterthought or maybe no thought at all, especially if I have a big shindig party the night before I'm ready to leave. Checking out is the last idea in my head. But I have 7 steps for checkout, for efficient checkout. Steps that can save you money, or at least make for a pleasant, efficient, and speedy departure. There are 7 steps, 7 ideas that I want to share with you, and they're all based on 2 premises. Number 1, that when you reserved your hotel room, that you knew completely the costs of each night and what is included in the hotel fees. So that's the assumption, that you knew ahead of time what you were going to be paying for. And then also the second premise is that these old adages are true. You attract bees with honey, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Those are true adages. So you can get attention by being acerbic or mean or making a bizarre comment, or you can be nice. You can be empathetic. You can build a relationship, and you can listen so that people begin to recognize that you are thoughtful and respectful of their positions, should you find out you run into a little bit of a disagreement when you're ready to check out. So let's go. Number 1. Now, when you go to a hotel, usually there is the hotel provides an airport shuttle, and there's a fee for that. So I suggest that you take a moment to compare the fee the hotel might charge you for transportation to the airport to a service that you can provide for yourself, that is, such as a taxi, Uber, and if you're in Southeast Asia, that would be Grab or Lyft. You can probably get away much cheaper with taxi and Uber and Grab or Lyft rather than the hotel alternative transportation. So if you find out that's true, then call for your own transportation. And you might be saying to yourself, well, how do I find out? Well, my favorite website is Rome2Rio.com. That's ROME, the numeral 2, Rio, RIO.com. You can check that website for finding transportation any place in the world, and they'll tell you general fees for taxi and so forth. All right. So, number 1, airport shuttle or alternative transportation. So you need to make that choice. Number 2, I want you to check the room and be sure to check the safe. Now, I suggest you do this the night before. The night before, check under the bed for wayward items. Don't forget your favorite pen on the desk or in the bedside table. Don't forget your phone charger, your electric razor, or your electric converter, which I have done before. I've left my converter in the wall. And check the safe, of course. Here's a question. Did you leave your favorite shampoo and conditioner in the shower? So I suggest you have an initial check the night before you go to bed to prepare to manage through the typical checkout morning crush. And then, of course, you do a quick review in the morning before you leave your room one last time. Number 2, leave a tip for the cleaning service personnel. That's kind of standard all around the world. It's easy to forget, but it's really the best thing to do. If you're an American, you can avoid being an ugly American by leaving a tip. And you just put the tip on the pillow, or if you do it the night before, put it by the phone or put it by the lamp. Number 4, take a closer look at your invoice. Now, as I mentioned before, I know you've researched the fees for your hotel before you booked your room. So what you should do now is review your charges. And it'll be really simple because you already know what you're supposed to be charged for. Give the itemized bill a careful look to compare your understanding of the charges with your initial reservation and the hotel invoice the evening before you check out. Now, some hotels, it's true, some hotels have been known to advertise low room rates simply as a matter of course. And then sometimes they will post add-ons later. Some properties even add on a resort fee for amenities simply as a matter of course. The hotel property should clearly spell out all the fees they've added to your bill. If you find your hotel did not spell out the fees, you have the right to ask them in a warm and friendly fashion to make it clear to you what are any additional fees. You need to do that at the checkout. Now, number 5. And before we go to number 5, I have 2 quick announcements. Number 1, I have put together an e-photography book, an e-book that's a photo book of my favorite photos. It's 13 pages long. If you're interested in this free ebook, please email me at Dianne@DiannAbroad.com, or you can go to my website, DiannAbroad.com. And I will be happy to send you this ebook. It's fun. It's just 13 pages of photos and a little commentary. And I'm also getting ready to put together a blog and a podcast about travel insurance and health insurance. I will share with you something that I've experienced myself with health insurance these last few months and what I'm struggling with now and the solution to those struggles. So 2 things I wanted to leave you with: the ebook, the e-photo book. Just email me at DiannAbroad.com and look forward to the next blog podcast about health insurance and travel insurance. So what we've done so far, back to this podcast, I've talked about airport shuttle. Check the room. Make sure you don't leave anything in the room when you check out. Leave a tip for the cleaning service personnel. And take a closer look at your invoice. The other thing you want to do, if you think at all, now this is number 5, if you think at all you might be late for checkout, and if you're late for checkout, you'll be charged. And that's rightly so. You should be charged if you're late for checkout. So if you think you might even be late, go to the front desk. If you can't go to the front desk, call and kindly ask them for a one-time exception to this late checkout fee. Just, I've done that, and I've just said, I'm sorry, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be an hour late. Can you give me an hour? And I have never been turned down. Now, if you find that you're turned down, that you're initially refused, I suggest you negotiate. There's no harm in it. Maybe you can get half of the fee or a quarter of the fee if you're going to be a little bit late. But they may have another alternative for you. Number 6, be your best self. Throughout this whole process, you need be your best self. Kindness goes a long way. Start out with a genuine apology and a soft voice. Now, you may be saying to yourself, they're charging me fees on my hotel bill that I don't know anything about, and I'm supposed to apologize to them. Dianne, what do you mean? Well, I'm saying to you, it doesn't matter. You should go ahead and apologize to them for having to ask questions about your bill. Now, I want to digress on that. When I was in Oi Han, I was staying in this lovely room with the big, I had these all glass exit that overlooked a little grassy area with a swing, my swing, and my chaise lounge, which was now facing the Red River. It was a lovely, lovely area. And I wasn't complaining about my bill, but what was happening one morning is a bunch of children, noisy children, showed up near my patio, near my beautiful glass window, all out to the Red River. And they were singing and playing and jumping up and down and screaming and doing somersaults in my front view, and it woke me up. I expected them to be there for a few minutes. It was just dawn. I expected them to be there for a few minutes, but they were there for hours, and I just didn't like it. So the next day, I assumed that they wouldn't do that, but indeed the next day they were there. So what I did was, with my hat in my hand, I went to the front desk and I apologized. And I said, please forgive me. I must share with you a complaint. I'm sorry to tell you that I have to complain about something. And they, of course, were listening. And I went on to explain to them what had happened with the children in the front yard. And they immediately apologized. And they said, we will talk to them right away so this does not happen again. And I thanked them very, very much and apologized again for having to complain, acknowledging that I loved my room, I loved my view, I loved the hotel. Well, I went off that morning. I came back in the afternoon, and as I was walking to my room, one of the clerks from the front desk came to me and said, Miss Schindler, we want you to know that we talked to the family of the children, and they will not be there tomorrow morning for sure. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, they said. So I apologized. When I went to them, I went with my hat in my hand because I didn't want to be rude, and it worked out beautifully. So back to be your best self. The clerks respond so much better when they're not put on edge and they're not threatened. Besides, when you approach them with a warm demeanor, it's received well. And if you find out you're met with complete denial at your request, ask to speak to the manager, still using your best self. And if you still are denied, you can feel good about your adult behavior and leave in a pleasant mood. You're not setting yourself up for anger that's going to be stuck in your DNA the rest of the day. If you've booked with an agency like Booking.com or Travelocity, call the agency and file an official complaint. Consider disputing the charge with your credit card company. Be sure to take your time to write a clear, diplomatic review. And, yes, maybe nothing will change for you. However, it may change for future guests. Number 7, the last tip I have, and do not pay your bill with cash. Do not pay your bill with a debit card. Cash, you have no recourse if something goes awry, and a debit card does not have the same level of protection that credit cards do. Pay with a credit card in case you choose to dispute a charge at a later time. You will enjoy your travel home knowing you haven't left any items behind, and you are always your best self. So just in review, consider alternative transportation to the airport to save money. Double check the room and the safe. Leave a tip for the cleaning service. Take a closer look at your invoice. Avoid a late checkout. Be your best self and use your credit card. That's it. And I thank you so much for listening to me today. This is Dianne at DiannAbroad.com. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, and or if you are interested in additional podcasts, please let me know because I want to hear from you. This is Dianne at DiannAbroad.com. Thank you so much.